Although Joseph's generation was long gone, the land of Egypt was filled with his descendants. One day Egypt gained a king who had never heard of Joseph before.
There are way too many Israelites. Let's make bad trades to prevent them from spreading. This will cause them to join the enemy.
The Egyptians forced the Israelites into slavery. They were subjected to hard labor such as carrying bricks and working in the fields.
I order you to kill all newborn boys. You can spare the girls' lives.
The midwives feared God and disobeyed the king by sparing the boys' lives.
Why did you let them live?
The king ordered his people to throw any newborn boy into the river, but let the girls live.
When Moses was born, he was hidden for 3 months.
Several months later.
Moses' mother hid him in some reeds along the Nile River. His sister watched from afar. Shall I go and summon a Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you? Go. Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay your wages.
When the child grew up, he was adopted by the Pharaoh's daughter. He was given the name Moses. Moses means, I drew him out of the water. After some time, Moses witnessed the cruel oppression of his kin. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew and out of his rage, killed him on the spot. When the next day arrived, he saw 2 Hebrews fighting.
Why are you striking your companion? Who has appointed you ruler and judge over us? Are you going to kill me too?
When the king found out about Moses, he vowed to have Moses killed. Not wanting to be killed, Moses departed from Egypt for the land of Midian. In Midian, he rested by a well.
Let's get the water from this here well and put him in them there troughs. Here, have some water.
The father was shocked that they were back so soon.
Saints alive, how have you returned so soon? An Egyptian man gave us water from the shepherds. Where is he? Why did you leave the man there? Why didn't you invite him over?
Since Moses was on the run, he agreed to stay with the father and the daughters. The father allowed Moses to marry one of his daughters. She was named Zipporah. Together, Moses and Zipporah had a child named Gershom. Gershom means, I am a stranger residing in a foreign land. Some years later, the king of Egypt had died, and the enslaved Israelites cried for help from God. God, remembering the covenant he had with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saw the Israelites and knew. When leading the flock, Moses arrived at the steps of Mount Horeb. Suddenly, a bush engulfed in flames appeared in front of him. He noticed that the bush would not burn.
I must turn aside to look at this remarkable sight. Why does the bush not burn up? Moses. Moses. Here I am. Do not come near. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I have witnessed the affliction of my people in Egypt, and I have heard their cry against their taskmasters, so I know well what they are suffering. Therefore I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them up from that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey. I will be with you, and this will be your sign that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will serve God at this mountain. But if I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your ancestors has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? What do I tell them? I am who I am. This is what you will tell the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. This is what you will say to the Israelites. The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever. This is the title for all generations. Go and gather the elders of the Israelites and tell them, the Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to me and said, I have observed you and what is being done to you in Egypt. They will listen to you. And then you and the elders of Israel will go to the king of Egypt and say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has come to meet us. So now let's go on a 3 days journey in the wilderness to offer sacrifice to the Lord our God. Yet I know that the king of Egypt will not allow you to go unless his hand is forced. So I will stretch my hand out and strike Egypt with all the wondrous deeds that I will do in its midst. After that, he will let you go. I will even make the Egyptians so well disposed toward his people that when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Every woman will ask her neighbor and resident alien in her house for silver and gold articles for clothing, and you will put them on your sons and daughters, and so you will plunder the Egyptians. But suppose they not believe me or listen to me, for they may say, the Lord did not appear to you. What is in your hand? A staff? Throw it on the ground. Now stretch out your hand and take hold of its tail. If they don't believe you, take the water from the Nile River and turn it into blood. Who gives one person speech? Who makes another mute or deaf, seeing or blind? Is not I the Lord? Now go, I will assist you in speaking and teach you what you are to say. And I know that there is your brother, Aaron the Levite, who is a good speaker. Even now he is on his way to meet you. When he sees you, he will be truly glad. You will speak to him and put the words in his mouth. I will assist both of you in speaking and teach you both what you are to do. He will speak to the people for you. He will be your spokesman, and he will be as God to him. Take the staff in your hand. With it, you are to perform the signs.
After the interaction with God, Moses returned to Jethro. Moses put his wife and children on donkey and traveled to Egypt. Moses had the staff with him.
On your return to Egypt, see you perform before the Pharaoh all the wonders that I have put in your power. But I will harden his heart, and he will not let the people go.
Moses and Aaron then went to the Pharaoh himself.
Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast for me in the wilderness. Who is the Lord, that I should obey him and let Israel go? I do not know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go. The God of the Hebrews has come to meet us. Let us go on a 3-day journey in the wilderness, that we may offer sacrifice to the Lord our God, so he does not strike us with the plague or the sword. Why, Moses and Aaron, do you make the people neglect their work? Off to your labors. Look how they are already more numerous than the people of the land, and that you will give them the rest from their labors? You shall no longer supply the people with straw from their brick-making as before. Let them go and gather their own straw. Yet you shall levy upon them the same quota of bricks you made previously. Do not reduce it. They are lazy. That is why they are crying. Let us go offer sacrifice to our God.
When the news spread, people spread out all over Egypt to find straw. They were required to do the same amount of work with fewer straws. When workers failed to produce bricks, they were beaten.
Lord, why have you treated these people badly, and why did you send me? Now you will see what I will do to the Pharaoh. For by a strong hand he will let them go. By a strong hand he will drive them from his land. I am the Lord. As God the Almighty, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. By my name, the Lord, I did not make myself known to them. I also established my covenant to them, and gave them the land of Canaan, the land of which they are residing as aliens. Now that I have heard the groaning of the Israelites, whom the Egyptians have reduced to slavery, I am mindful of my covenant. Therefore say to the Israelites, I am the Lord. I will free you from the burdens of the Egyptians, and will deliver you from their slavery. I will redeem you by my outstretched arm with the mighty acts of judgment. I will take you as my own people, and I will be your God, and will know that I, the Lord, am your God, who has freed them from the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you into the land which I swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will give it to you as your own possession. I, the Lord, go tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites leave his land. If the Israelites did not listen to me, how is it possible that the Pharaoh will listen to me, poor speaker that I am? Since I am a poor speaker, how is it possible that the Pharaoh will listen to me? See, I have made you a god to the Pharaoh, and Aaron your brother will be your prophet. The Pharaoh will not listen to you. Therefore I will lay my hand on Egypt with the mighty acts of judgment, that I bring my armies, my people the Israelites, out of the land of Egypt.
Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83 years old by the time they spoke to the Pharaoh. Throw your staff on the ground and it will turn into a serpent. The Pharaoh, however, hardened his heart and would not listen to them, just as the Lord had foretold.
Thus says the Lord, this is how you will know that I am the Lord. With the staff here in my hand, I will strike the water in the Nile, and it will be changed into blood. Take your staff and stretch out your hand over the water of Egypt, its streams, its canals, its ponds, and all of its supplies of water, that they may become blood. There will be blood throughout the land of Egypt, even in the wooden pails and stone jars.
The fish died and the Egyptians could not drink water. Then came the second plague.
1 week later.
Go to the Pharaoh, and I will tell him, Thus says the Lord, let my people go to serve me. If you refuse to let him go, I will send a plague of frogs all over your territory. The Nile will teem with frogs, and they will come up to enter your palace, into your bedroom, and onto your bed, into the houses of your servants too, among your people, even into the ovens in your kneading bowls. Pray to the Lord to remove the frogs from me and my people, and I will let the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. Please designate me for the time when I pray to you and your servants and your people to get rid of the frogs from you and your houses. They will only be left in the Nile. It will be as you've said, so that you may know that there is none like the Lord our God. The frogs will leave you in your houses, your servants and your people. They will only be left in the Nile.
The fish died and the Egyptians could not drink water. Then came the second plague.
Stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the earth, and it will turn into gnats throughout the land of Egypt.
They did just that. Aaron struck the earth with his staff, and all the dust turned into gnats.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
This is the finger of God.
Don't want to hear it.
Then came the fourth plague.
Early tomorrow morning, present yourself to the Pharaoh when he sets out toward the water, and I will say to him, Thus says the Lord, let my people go to serve me. For if I do not let my people go, I will send swarms of flies upon you and your servants, and let the people go in your houses. The houses of the Egyptians and then the ground which they stand will be filled with swarms of flies. I will make an exception. Goshen, a land of many of my people, will be untouched from the flies.
Thick swarms of flies entered the house of the Pharaoh and the houses of his servants. Throughout Egypt, the land was devastated on account of the swarms of the flies.
I will let you go to sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness, provided that you do not go too far away. Pray for me. As soon as I leave, I will pray to the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart tomorrow from the Pharaoh, his servants, and his people. The Pharaoh, however, must not act deceitfully against and refuse to let the people go to sacrifice to the Lord.
When the flies departed, the Pharaoh refused to let the people go. Then came the fifth plague.
Go to the Pharaoh and tell him, Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, let my people go to serve me. For if you refuse to let them go and persist in holding them, the land of the Lord will strike your livestock in the fields, your horses, donkeys, camels, herds, and flocks, with a very severe pestilence.
And so the livestock of Egypt became infected with a horrible disease. However, the livestock owned by Israelites were not infected. The Pharaoh refused to let the people go. Then came the sixth plague.
Each of you take handfuls of soot from a kiln. In the presence of the Pharaoh, let Moses scatter it toward the sky. It will turn into fine dust over the land of Egypt and cause festering boils on human beings and beasts alike through the land of Egypt.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
When Moses scattered it toward the sky, it caused festering boils on human beings and beasts alike. Boils appeared on the magicians as well. The boils did not affect the Israelites. The Pharaoh did not let the people free. Then my fellow Americans, came the seventh plague to America.
At this exact time tomorrow, I am going to rain down such fierce hail as there has ever been in Egypt from the day it was founded upon to the present.
When the hail fell, any humans and animals that were outside were killed. The storm was the worst in Egypt's history. The land of Goshen did not have any hail. When the hail stopped, the Pharaoh did not let the people go.
Then came the eighth plague. All right.
Thus says the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, how long will you refuse to submit to me? Let my people go to serve me. For if you refuse to let my people go, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your territory.
Moses stretched out his staff over the land of Egypt, and the Lord drove an east wind over the land all that day and all night. When it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. The locusts ate all the crops in Egypt. Nothing green was left on the trees and bushes. When the locusts had gone, The Pharaoh did not let the people go. Hey, Peter! Then came the 9th plague.
Stretch out your hand toward the sky, that over the land of Egypt there may be such darkness that no one can feel it.
I am inevitable.
So Moses stretched his hand toward the sky, and there was a dense darkness throughout the land of Egypt for 3 days. The Israelites still had light. When the light came back, the Pharaoh did not let the people go. Then came the 10th plague. The firstborn of every Egyptian family would die. This affected the Pharaoh because he could no longer continue his dynasty. The Pharaoh did not let them go. Thus ended the 10 plagues.
Every family will have to sacrifice a lamb. Your lamb must be a 1-year-old male without blemish. Kill it on the 14th day during the evening. Take its blood and spill it in the doorknobs of the house. You will eat the lamb quickly. It is the Lord's Passover. Can you let the Israelites go?
I missed the part where that's my problem.
I thought I told you this was a one-way trip. Looks like it still is. They'll be looking for us, you know. Aaron, let's get the Israelites out of here. Dot, I know a place.